So we have to do all four memory engrams in chronological order. Oh shit. Well, young boy, young executive, middle-aged old man. That's the third one. Locked. Wait, did I screw up? Is he gonna die because I was dumb? Checking engrams. Engram integration failed. Host reintegration process failed. Oh, okay, good. That's so dumb. We select an engram, and then we don't select anything, and it locks in nothing. That's dumb. Shouldn't happen like that. Okay, first one is young boy. Second one is young executive. Third one is going to be a middle-aged man. And the last one is going to be an old man. Reintegrate the host. Checking engrams. Engram integration success. Host reintegration process initiated. Oh, so she automatically got disconnected from that. Okay. Heyo. Hello, Raymond. What's up? The clean room echoes with your footsteps as you approach the capsule containing the assist surgical couch. Through the window, you can see that the last 8 years have not been kind to Raymond Black. The trauma of the last few days is readily apparent. The pasty pallor of his skin and the white growth of stubble on his chin make him appear far older than 65. Hello, Raven. Hello, hello. How's it going? I'm doing great. I'm having fun with this game, even if there's a lot of talking, a lot of reading. He lies unconscious, his chest barely moving, his eyes sunken and his jaw slack. Carefully applied gauze dressing on his balding head surrounds a gleaming metal port at data. A thin bundle of wires run from the jack to the device mounted to the capsule wall. Hey Raymond, can you hear me? It's big. The old man's breathing changes. You see movements under his eyelids. He slowly becomes conscious. Big. Raymond opens his eyes, blinks a few times at you. We have to go. I left Prosperity in the walled city. He must be disoriented from the assist programming. This looks like we got to him just in time. No time to catch up right now. We've got to move. Okay, Raymond, it's time to get out of here. Disconnecting Raymond from the assist device proves to be straightforward, as does getting him out of his capsule and onto the clean room floor. Feels as if he barely weighs anything at all. Hey, I'm a big troll. I probably don't feel anything at all when I carry someone. Although his breathing is a bit erratic, Raymond seems steady enough on his feet. Lead on, Big. I'll be right behind you. Okay. Oh, hey, hello. That's, The guards are talking amongst themselves excitedly as you arrive. Then, they're instantly alert, exchanging nervous glances. Their leader speaks up, addressing them with all the confidence he can muster. We're the last line of defense, and we're going to hold them here. Do you understand? The guards are clearly frightened, but appear ready to follow his orders. You can see his confidence rising at their reactions. Stop right there, runner. Drop your weapons or we'll open fire. Hey. There's a trail of blood behind me wider than the South China Sea. You gonna be smart about this and drop your guns? Oh, actually, we just took down your whole security network. Cut our way through your best squad. Are you sure this is how you want to play this? You're babysitting your daughter. Good. How's it going? The guards? The guard looks to his co-workers and nods to you. Nope, this is definitely not how we want to play this. Let's just pretend that we never saw each other, okay? Takes his finger off the trigger and begins lowering his weapon. Sure, I mean, hey, if they offer me not to fight, we don't get experience points for fighting. We just get it for doing stuff. So yeah, we never saw each other. She doesn't want to sleep. That sucks. The guards lower their weapons. But they're really not going to fight me. Pretty nice. Raymond Black. Alarms blare as you hustle Raymond from the Special Projects section of Prosperity Tower. You encounter no resistance. Raymond unsteadily gropes his way through the corridors of the corporate headquarters, holding onto your elbow for support. Occasionally, the old man fingers the gauze dressing on his head with his free hand, wincing when he touches a tender patch. Tense minutes pass between the time you exit the building and enter the MTR station. The team remains on high alert, scanning streets and buildings for signs of Tang security forces until, like a stream of cockroaches, you scuttle on the ground to the cool safety of the mass transit tunnels. Pay the fare, grab Raymond, and make your way to the subway platform. The sound of the old man's ragged breathing loudly rushing past your ear. Seconds tick slowly while you wait for the subway train to arrive. We get some karma points. Very nice. Oh wait, we're inside. Okay. The team hustles. Did I get karma points? Yes, we did get some. I don't know how much I got, but that's fine. The team hustles Raymond onto a subway car, quietly taking up defensive positions and scoping the platform for signs of pursuit. The old man is unsteady on his feet, but he insists on standing under his own power. He grabs a railing and holds on with white knuckles as the train lurches forward. Why don't you just sit? There's a lot of space to sit. A group of tourists sits nearby, conspicuously avoiding eye contact with any of you. Your crew looks over the old man with a bandage on the back of his head, exchanging meaningful expressions. Raymond squints at the odd group surrounding him. His nod indicates that he understands he's among friends. Wu drags his goggles off his head, bending his knees to get a better look at his foster father. Tangled knot of relief, compassion, resentment, and hurt churns across the younger man's face as he wrestles with his confused emotions. Fear for his father's health overcomes them all. Raymond? Raymond turns his head towards Wu's voice. His eyes are cloudy. There's reassurance in his tone. Oh wow, he looks very bad right now. Duncan, I'm alright. I'm so me. Likes to focus. Are we in a subway? He looks a lot worse right now than he did when we rescued him. Is he dying? Wu exhales bigly, yes. Yeah, we're in the subway. We're safe. Drags his attention away from the old man, looks at you. What happened? Is he okay? There's no way to know without extensive testing in a proper facility. As far as I can tell, yeah. I fought against reprogramming. The old man's voice is little more than a soft croak. His eyes are sunken and surrounded by dark circles. His mother's medical technology must be amazing. It's hard to believe he's working under his own power so soon after the surgery. Yeah, well, Rana's an amazing woman. Her high-tech brain surgery, her ownership of the cops, her execution of my partner, and those runners. Wu's face hardens and stands up straight, glaring down at the older man. Oh, and the way she had the plastic-faced man snatch her own son. Amazing woman. Yeah, she's a real piece of work, no doubt about it. Yeah, tell me about it. Finally, her son is too. Pain and bitterness dripped from Wu's deep, raspy voice. This man, whoever he is, has a lot of explaining to do. Are you ready to start telling us the truth, Edward? Oh, Duncan, if I could punch you right now, I would punch you. Because you're a dingus. How do you even dare act like this? The old man tilts his head up with the yoke towering above him. And although exhausted, his jaw sits firm. Yes, Duncan. I'm ready to tell you everything. I had planned to explain it all when you arrived in Hong Kong. Yeah, we're here now, Ray. You are here, and I'm grateful for all you have done for me. All that you needed to do. It's more than just exhaustion. The words are challenging for him to speak. The old man leans back onto the wall of the subway car and gathers his thoughts. He seems to swoon for a moment, but then inhales deeply, swallows hard and pulls himself erect. My name is Edward Tsang. I am the only son of Josephine Tsang, the CEO of Tsang Mechanical Services, heir to the company. Before I left Hong Kong, I was the Vice President of Special Projects, the up-and-coming star of the company. If you were the golden boy, why did you leave Hong Kong? Raymond frowns, as if the taste of the words are bitter in his mouth. My division was shut down, disbanded. One of my projects failed. Prosperity. Something you've never seen before washes over the tired old man's face. Shame. You've heard of it. Prosperity. I see. Raymond takes a breath, and the labored croak of his voice drops to a monotone. I was part of a project my mother envisioned. Rebuild the Kowloon walled city. A walking neighborhood for underprivileged citizens, fully integrated with job training programs, co-op childcare, drug counseling centers. It was a new approach to low-income housing in the East. The springboard to prosperity for hundreds of thousands. Yeah, that doesn't sound like the place I grew up in. Raymond is 20 years away, doesn't seem to hear her. Mother personally oversaw every aspect of the project to ensure that every detail was executed properly. Chose each project manager herself, chaired regular status meetings with architects, builders, visited the work site for surprise inspections, was driven to make her renewed, revitalized walled city a success. I think that's bullshit. I think what she wanted to do is she wanted to make sure that everything is gonna be made exactly to her specifications. Because I think it's all about feng shui. And she wanted to make it so that it's gonna be a huge I don't even know how to call it. Basically a huge, like we did the mission in the where we did Bad Chi. So she would want probably to collect huge amounts of chi or whatever, do something. Maybe to summon those demon things we saw in one of the laboratories. Yes, well, she didn't really do too well with that whole prosperity thing, did she? Not true. Mother's planning was excellent, but the walled city wasn't the prosperity project. Raymond covers his eyes with a liver-spotted hand, the dread radiating from him like the stink of decayed meat. Prosperity was something I built at the center of the walled city. A moment later, an invisible grip takes hold of your chest, constricts it, squeezing the air from your lungs. Your vision grays from the edges, and the world surges backward, giving you to suspended in the distance, on the periphery of reality. Something is hurtling towards you, approaching from the fringe of your mind like a bullet train. It screams ahead, closer and closer, until it's upon you, overwhelming you with its presence. And then nothing. Silence. Until a scream pierces your consciousness, pulls you screaming to its source. You're back in the walled city. The city of darkness. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, that's a lot of teeth. Hey there. That's a tall figure. Okay. Your mind wrenches, inverts, and then violently jerks back into your skull. Oh, I have a thingy again on my head. Oh, Raymond is also suffering here. I didn't look at him. I'm only looking at the text, so I kind of wasn't paying attention to his character. But I think he's also feeling pain. Your stomach cramps hard, and the taste of bile burns your throat. A thin trickle of cold sweat slides down the small of your back, and your eyes refuse to focus. Your crew fares no better. Govett pulls herself from the floor. It doesn't look like it. Madness and folly squishing wordedly in the folds of her clothing, Isabel grips the railing, her back to the group, retching silently. Ractor leans against Koshi, his ashen face staring at the ceiling, blinks rapidly, processing. Gaichu stands perfectly still in the center of the car, hands at his sides, his face impassive. Yeah, because he doesn't have any essence. He's basically a dead body walking. So he probably didn't feel anything. Wu breathes deeply, his hands on his knees. That wasn't a dream. Shakes his head like a lion's mane and spits on the floor. That was something else. Robert's breathing is shallow. She's covered in a thin sheen of sweat. It was a vision. I saw some sort of machine inside the walled city. Isabel turns, squinting in concentration. Her lips are white. It was churning something. It felt wrong, impossible. I think it was ripping, I don't know, reality. York girl shudders. It was ripping a hole in reality. Something is here, my friends. Something has arrived. I believe we have just fallen in over our heads. Wu straightens up, drawing the back of a wrist across his mouth. What the hell was that, Raymond? Uh-oh. No answer. Wu spins to find Raymond cowering, his head in his hands, shuddering and weeping. He's here. Breathe, Raymond. Breathe. Shouldn't have waited. Shouldn't have hid. He looks up at you with bloodshot eyes. She's here. The queen with 1,000 teeth. Raymond rocks in place, hogging himself, staring past you at someone only he can see. I left prosperity in there. I left prosperity in there. I left prosperity in there. Uh-oh, looks like Raymond's gone bye-bye. Shh, Gobbet. Isabel whispers with her admonishment. Edward, can you hear me? The old man's brow furrows at the name. Prefer Raymond. Raymond blinks his eyes open. His voice is weak, hesitant, disconnected somehow. Are we in the subway? The right corner of his mouth twitches noticeably. Why is he stuttering? He's not. I used to stutter, and this doesn't sound like a stutter to me. Something else is going on. Could be the visions. Could be the aborted brain surgery, or some combination of the two. Something bad is happening. began a long time ago, and I'm responsible. His eyes open wide. The Queen! Prosperity! Yeah, what is prosperity, Raymond? What is all this? Why is all this happening? Raymond turns his head towards you, trying to focus. This is all because of me and my mother. Something we did a long time ago. Puts a hand out and steadies himself on Wu's arm. My fault. Prosperity. All those people, those poor people. The Prosperity Project? Shame eclipses the old man's face. You know about prosperity? Yes, sort of. Woodstone gets a little sharper. We've already covered this, Raymond. We know that it's in the center of the world city and that Edward Tang built it. Oh, we shouldn't call him Edward. We should call him Raymond because he asked me to. Why don't you start at the beginning, Raymond? Tell us what all this is about. The beginning. Sometime in the 20s, my mother was awarded the he searches for the word. The contract to rebuild the housing development. The walled city. Well, from the result, I'd say your mom kinda blew it. Prosperity failed. Frustration appears in the old man's starred eyes. I told you, the walled city wasn't a prosperity project. Prosperity was the fortune engine I built at the center of the walled city. My special project. Fortune engine? What are you talking about? Wu sneers. You can create fortune, Raymond. Of course you can, Duncan. Didn't you? I don't remember if I took him on the mission where we disrupted Qi. We disrupted some Feng Shui to disrupt someone else's fortune. So of course fortune can be made. I can, Gunshow. Some practitioners of Feng Shui believe they can do it. Have you heard of the Bangwa of the 8 aspirations? Oh, looks like Gobbet fatly. No, Gobbet. I must have skipped school that day. Actually, keep going, Gobbet. I want to hear this. Gobbet wrinkles her nose at Wu. It's Neo Feng Shui. The masters of the craft can map the flow of qi and how it corresponds to different aspects in someone's life. Fame, relationships, creativity, inner knowledge, health, and fortune. That's 6. You said there were 8 aspects. The little orc shrugs. I don't remember the other 2, but one of them was definitely fortune. He looks sidelong at Raymond. So what does the fortune engine do? The fortune engine was designed to improve the balance of qi in a negative qi environment. A negative qi environment? Yeah, like the slum. Somewhere shitty, like a slum. Exactly. Wu is pretty stupid, isn't he? Raymond corrects her. Like a low-income housing project. I believe that with the fortune engine, the rebuilt walled city might never become a slum. Drifts off for a moment, remembering, and he squeezes his eyes shut and lowers his head. But the machine malfunctioned. It went the other way. He forgot 1 minus, and then it went the other way. How did it malfunction? The mechanism I created to circulate negative qi in the walled city. He brings a liver spotted hand to his mouth. It got stuck. Stuck on what? Oh, stuck on what? Forgot that he was supposed to be Russian. I can do a Russian accent, even if I'm Polish. I don't know what a Russian accent is. Raymond rises slowly, pulling himself from his crumpled heap. His tone turns instructive, the old Raymond, but this time his explanation is halting and weary. Think of this fortune engine as a sort of a propeller blade moving through astral space, circulating qi, keeping it, he hunts for the word, fresh. When qi flows, and the rhythm is right, the result of positive, fortuitous. When I brought my design for the fortune engine to my mother, she embraced it. He exhales. She more than embraced it. She bankrolled it, put an entire division of Sang Mechanical on me to develop it. Sounds like a big bet. Raymond nods rapidly. Biggest of her career. Mother said that if the machine could bring fortune to the less fortunate, it would prove my theory. And if it could help the poor, imagine what a fortune engine could do for Josephine Tang. Whose jaw clenches? But that's not what's happened, was it? Something went wrong. The people in the walled city didn't benefit from your fortune engine, did they, Raymond? Oh, I think the fortune engine actually works, but it works in a way that it saps the fortune away from those people in the world city, and then gives it to Josephine Sang or gives it somewhere else, which helps Josephine. That's my theory right now. The old man bows his head, doesn't answer. Okay, Raymond, why didn't your fortune engine work? It got stuck. He doesn't raise his head. The mechanism I created to circulate negative chi in the world city got stuck. You can see Wu's patience blowing away like autumn leaves in a high wind. He rubs his head viciously in frustration. Stuck on what, Raymond? The old man gets a confused look on his face. His lips move soundlessly for several moments. Wu leans in close, drops to a whisper, seethes in his foster father's face. Stuck on what? Duncan, can I punch you? You're a dick. You're such a dick. Raymond winces at Wu's tone and stumbles back a step. But it does the job, and the old man focuses. So, something in astral space. I wasn't sure what. Oh, that sounds bad. The machine started falling negative chi. The old man's breathing begins to accelerate, and the world city started to fill with it. Fortunes turned bad. I've been in places where the feng shui was really bad. That's not what I felt when I was in the world city. No, chi needs to flow. Eventually, the enormous pool of negative chi became toxic. Fortunes turned from bad to worse. Much worse. Raymond's shoulders slump. Mother's vision for a rebuilt, revitalized walled city fell to ruin. It only took a few years for the trapped toxic chi to turn a brand new housing development into a hellish slum. Why didn't you turn it off? I couldn't. So something happened. It's part of the malfunction. We couldn't turn it off. Then why didn't you blow it up, wrap it in C6, and turn it into a scrap heap? Mother refused. Wu's tone turns icy cold. Why? I never found out. She wouldn't tell me. She would only say that it wasn't worth spending the additional resources to figure out how to fix it, or even how to turn it off. Of course it was. Words start spilling out of the old man. She sealed off the maintenance room. Our engineers poured a sarcophagus of thick concrete around it so no one would ever find it, even find out what we had done. Then she wrote the project off as a business loss and move on like nothing ever happened, right? Yes. His face flushes and he fidgets with the gauze bandage on his head. After that, I left Hong Kong. Started a new life in Seattle. I found you too. You should have stayed. Tried to do something about it. Wu grimaces, disappointed. You were a coward, Raymond. Yes. Raymond stands up straight, takes a shaky step towards Wu. Yes, I was a coward. And the guilt, the burden of my cowardice ripped me like a vice that never loosens. It's eaten me from the inside for 20 years. He licks his lips, tries to breathe, and then the nightmares began. Horrible. So I kept working on the problem, night and day. Did you ever figure out how to stop her? It took me years, even after you left, to make the connections, find what to do, but I did. I figured it out. And still the nightmares intensified until they became unbearable. I knew I had to come back, fix what I had done. That's why I contacted you. Help me see it through. Wu mumbles something, but all we can make out is the word coward. Okay. So what about the rip in reality we saw in our vision? Raymond's voice flattens. Oh, when the machine malfunctioned, when the circulator became stuck in astral space, it lodged in another domain. Says and his lips begin to tremble. He sways. And something lived there. Not good. The old man begins to drift. After 20 years of constant force, the circulator finally began shearing astral space, created a rupture in her domain. She begins rocking in place, and now she's pushing through, and now she's pushing through, and now she's pushing through. Yeah, she's pushing through alright. Who snarls at his foster brother? Queen with 1,000 fucking teeth. That thing you brought here, Raymond. Oh, Duncan, you dingus! Just stop this. I wish I could kill Duncan. I don't really care. If I have a choice, I'm gonna murder him. I hope I do. Raymond stops his rocking, becomes fully lucid. He snaps back at Wu. I understand that, Mr. Wu. That's why he came back. I believe she is only partially here. She hasn't pushed all the way through yet. Just probing her new hunting ground. The emotional strain of his snap at Wu rattles him again. I know what to do now. How to extract the circulator. Shut the machine down before she can fully manifest. Just get me to the center of the walled city, the fortune engine, and I will do the rest. Please, help me. Help them. Oh, so, yeah, we're gonna do it, but we have different motivations. You know what? Yeah, you helped us overcome some hairy mistakes that we made. So now we're gonna help you fix yours. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can go back in there. The lower deck, his eyes open wide, more white than iris. The breathing becomes faster, shallower. It's not just a thing in there, Fist. It's a Yama King, a demon goddess. Didn't you say you don't believe in Yama Kings? We're trapped, Iz. We can't run. And leave me. I want to. It's all I've been thinking of. Rat Shaman's shoulders rise with tension, but the APB is still out on us, and those visions, I get a feeling they're not gonna stop unless we make him stop. That fragile old man's the only way to do it. She looks down at her friend. Her voice is gentle. We've got to take him there, Iz. We've got to help him fix this. I, for one, wish to see this fortune engine. I am intrigued. Rax's pale eyes glint. I willingly go. H.'s face remains impassive, but his eyelids lower in anticipation. I have the opportunity to kill a god. I cannot allow the opportunity to pass unanswered. We never said that it's a god. It just lived in a different domain. Wu's voice drops to a mumble. I hate this fucking country. I hate this life. Just go away, Duncan. Leave. I don't care about you. Big is right. We owe you, Raymond. And I'm not walking away from that. I'll help you I'll help you fix your mess or die trying. Then we'll be even. He stares evenly at Raymond, his voice cold. I'm no coward. Oh, shut up, Duncan. I hate him. So annoying. He was cool at the beginning. Oh wow, the air grips the people streaming from inside the world city. The storm isn't a typhoon. It's something else. There's a lot of blood around here.